My name is Madeline Ross. I used to believe that even if my life wasn't peaceful, it would never sink as low as jail. Yet that night, I was handcuffed and taken to what they called the Inter-County Holding Facility, a place where newly arrested people wait for questioning or preliminary processing. Some stay a few hours, others remain for days. After that, you are either released or transferred to a formal detention center. The place was loud, cold, and stripped of privacy. The cell was nothing more than gray concrete walls, a low ceiling, and dim fluorescent lights. No mattress, no bed, just the bare floor, and the smell of sweat and dried blood. Blood from where? From the woman arrested in the same intake as me, an addict in withdrawal, wrists restrained, her skin torn open from clawing at herself. When she became too loud, there was the sharp crack of a baton striking the metal bars. Quiet! She screamed for nearly an hour before collapsing. The officers didn't check whether she had truly passed out. They brought new detainees in, took others out for paperwork, then locked the door again as if nothing had happened. I curled into a corner, trying to avoid the dark stain on the floor, but the smell clung to my skin. There were 3 others in the cell with me. A pale young girl, trembling like a trapped rabbit. A heavy-set woman with a bloated face, the sharp scent of liquor still clinging to her breath. And an elderly woman, the oldest among us. She was thin, gray-haired, and silent. Deep bruises marked her wrists where the cuffs had struck bone. At some point, out of boredom or desperation, I found myself scanning the room, perhaps searching for someone worse off than me, just to convince myself I hadn't hit bottom. It didn't help. Gradually, I lost all sense of time. It was probably past midnight. Every minute felt like an hour. No one spoke. Everyone was buried in their own thoughts. Then the old woman spoke softly. "Do you have children?" At first I thought she was muttering to herself. Then she continued, "I have a son. My son has a child, a little boy. But the boy doesn't have a mother. I was arrested today for stealing milk and diapers." I turned toward her. "They say I might get a suspended sentence if I tell the truth and have a lawyer. How could I afford one? They say I'll be assigned a public defender. But I'm still here. I don't know for how long." My heart paused. I realized I was not the worst case in the room. Compared to her situation, I could only call mine a streak of bad luck. I asked her if she was afraid. "Yes," she said. "But I can't collapse. If I give up, who will go home to my grandson?" Just that. After that, the room fell silent. No one slept. Neither did I. I replayed my life, the choices that slowly pulled me off a stable track. The day I told myself, "It's just a small mistake," that small mistake brought me here. A few hours later, an officer opened the door and called my name. I was being released on bail, pending investigation. My legs were stiff as I stood. As I stepped out, I glanced back at her. She didn't look at me, but her lips moved faintly. "Go. I hope you never come back." I never learned her name. I don't know if she was released soon after. But I will never forget her voice, nor her face under the pale fluorescent light, nor that night in the holding cell, where I saw a human being fighting to survive, not because she believed in hope, but because if she surrendered, the light in a small boy's life would disappear.